Writing Nonfiction Books, 7 Steps to Success. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of Walking with Randy. I have on my Florida cap because Rhonda and I went on vacation a month or two ago, and my grandson liked it so much he said I should do it for a session of Walking with Randy. So this is for Jameson, who has produced his own video called Walking with Jameson Thomas Dryden. Okay, well, I'm glad to be with you today for another session of Walking with Randy, where we talk about writing, speaking, coaching, marketing, and marriage. Today, we're talking about writing again. We're talking about writing nonfiction books, 7 Steps to Success. I want to tell you the story of John, who saw his friend Bill having some problems with his internet business. Now, John had been down the road before, and he thought, well, some of those things could be easily corrected. So he thought, well, maybe I should write a book. No one would listen to me. But then he talked to his friend Bill, and he found out that Bill was indeed open to suggestions. So he started working with Bill, and things started turning around with Bill. And so then the idea persisted of writing a book that would be able to help other people. So here's how he went about it. First of all, he saw the problem. He was able to see the problem, main problem, and some other problems. Now, he knew what success in this area was like, so he was glad to be able to share his successes. And he wanted others to not give up too quickly. He wanted them to be able to dream about their successes. Well, he knew about his own experience, but since he was writing for more than just himself and for Bill, he decided to make sure that he had enough information that would help others beside just the two of them. So he did some further research. After having done this, he started grouping his information together. There was a problem. There was a solution. There were steps to get to that solution. And so he put those together in steps. He ended up with 8 steps. Then he knew that he could write an introduction to this book. And after that, he knew that he could write a conclusion. He could tell them what he was going to tell them, and he could tell them what he had told them. So he began the process of writing his book. Pretty soon, he had this 10-chapter book done, and he decided to make it better, make the chapters better. Of course, it was a rough draft. He started the process of polishing, which is actually going to culminate in the last step. But he went through and caught his typos and spelling errors and made those corrections. And then he decided to break up the text in the chapters by putting in some headings. And his chapters divided into these headings. He had at least 3 headings in each chapter. Sometimes he had 4, sometimes he had 5, sometimes he had as many as 7, but generally 3 or 4. And so he had now an introduction. He had 8 chapters of steps to the solution. Within each of those 8 chapters, there were headings that broke up the material, that would make it easier to read, that would allow the person to read a section, digest it, think about it, meditate on it a little bit, and move on to the next section. Then, to make it better, as he went through his next pass, catching more than typos and spelling errors, he looked for things like passive voice that just jumped out of him. thinking of the example of the ball was hit, and he changed it to John hit the ball. Things like that as he went through this pass. And to make it even better and more interesting, he added some stories. He told about his own experiences. He told about Bill's experiences. He told about the experiences of others that were just sort of universal experiences that he could write in a way that he would not be doing copyright infringement. And so he added those stories in. After having done that, he had this great book. It was a book that would solve people's problems. It was a book that would move them toward their dream of the solution to those problems. It was a book that was interesting because of some of the stories that were placed inside it. Then he hired an editor to go over the book, and he polished it even further. He also hired someone to create a cover for his book. Having done that, his book was ready, and then he published it. Writing nonfiction books, 7 steps to success. Here were John's steps. First of all, see the problem or problems. Secondly, dream the solutions. Third, research further where necessary. Fourth, show the steps. Fifth, put in some headings. Sixth, add some stories. 7, polish and publish. And then you have a book. Why don't you do that? Can you see a problem that needs to be solved? Can you show the dream for the solution? Can you do further research on your topic? Can you put in some headings? Add some stories? Either edit yourself or get someone else to help you polish it even more, and then you will be ready to publish it. So there you have it. Writing nonfiction books, 7 steps to success. See the problems, dream the solutions, research, show the steps, put in some headings, add some stories, polish and publish. Well, I hope this has been helpful to you. If you would like more tips like these, go to randysblogs.com, and you will find more tips like these. If you're looking at this on my blog itself, you can just go to the top of the page and click on writing, and you will find more blog posts that include these videos. Okay, well, I hope you have a good day, and we will talk to you again on Walking with Randy.